Good day, my friend. A few years back, we saw the funeral of Andre Sauvageau. Just to look back into this, see if we can get any background information, because there's a recent Bombshell news that came out, revelations. So let's just take it one step at a time, and you'll see why. So hundreds of bikers say goodbye to their brother Andre Sauvageau. Well, he's not in this picture. This is the funeral. See Hells Angels from Ontario visiting. Obviously Quebec, because he was from Quebec. And this was a while ago. It was on June 2019, the 20th. Andre Sauvageau, a veteran Hells Angel member of the Montreal chapter, died on the 28th of May 2019 in RDP prison. So he was not a free man. It was in RDP prison. We've spoken about RDP prison a few times. What do we got here? Just to double check. So notable people that came were none other than Rock Machine founder Salvatore Cazzetta. No, that's not him on the picture. But we have Vincent Boulanger. We talked about him a while ago. The bread maker, Gilles Lambert, and Jean-Paul Ramsey. Donc, les voici. You see them all saying a final goodbye. I'm not sure, but I think it's Dark Souls. No, it's not. Something else, because it's DARR. I don't know the patches by heart. So you see there was Ontarians, New Brunswick, British Columbia, all coming to see Andre Sauvageau. The man was pretty old by then. He was rotting away in prison. So at first, I guess it was reported as a natural passing away, right? And there was nothing suspicious about it. Only a sad fate of, nothing. It's pretty sad to end your days, old man in prison, honestly. Bombshell. Hells Angels André Sauvageau, who we thought died of natural causes, would have been poisoned by fenty. So he was poisoned in prison. Now, I cheated, but I did not read the whole thing, obviously. I just glanced at it. So, yes, you see in the title, and we're going to read about it. The death of the biker in 2019 was an order, a contract, according to declarations of a hitman who is working for the police now. See what they give us here.
Les images que vous voyez datent de 2019, c'était les funérailles.
The images you see here date of 2019. They were the funeral.
André Sauvageau, membre des Hells Angels.
Member of the Hells Angels.
Si on en reparle ce matin, vous avez peut-être vu ce dossier dans le journal de nos collègues du bureau d'enquête sur le fait que...
Hey, notice you see the Beast crew there. Remember recently we just saw... maybe a video or two ago, we spoken about the Beast crew. There you have them, man. You could actually see them from Richelieu there.
Il y a une nouvelle explication à sa mort, Éric Thibault.
There's a new explanation for his death, and they are going to speak to Éric Thibault, who is Félix Séguin's partner.
Journaliste aux affaires policières, judiciaires au journal, est avec nous. Bonjour, Éric.
Bonjour, Mario.
Oui, parce qu'à l'époque, si on se remonte à l'époque des images qu'on voit, 2019, ça avait été classé par les autorités mort naturelle.
So it was classified at that time as a natural death by authorities. That was the public information they gave everyone.
Oui, bien, faut se reporter là, à printemps 2019. André Sauvageau, il est détenu en attendant son procès pour gangstérisme. Il a été arrêté dans l'opération Magot.
So Andre Sauvageau was arrested in Operation Magot-Mastiff. And in 2019, he was waiting trial, I guess, for that. Man, that's like 5 years or 4 years after the fact, because, Magot-Mastiff, I know you count 5, but that operation, I remember, was winter time, so it had to be at the end of the year. That's why I didn't count 5. That's why I say 4. It's a little bit more accurate. But what do you have to know? Background, quick. Magot-Mastiff, this is what I'm just mentioning this because Magot-Mastiff, the spotlight went on Gregory Woolley. Now note, we're talking about Andre Sauvageau, Hells Angels, waiting on trial for that one. So that operation, of course, it would have touched the Hells Angels too, because at that moment Gregory Woolley was one of the central figures that had this alliance between the mafia, the Hells Angels, and his faction of the street gangs, of course. So, but the spotlight was on Gregory Woolley, Salvatore Casetta, and the Rizzuto son. And that's what you need to know.
Et on le retrouve un bon matin dans sa cellule, dans son lit. Il y a pas
And one good morning, we find him in his cell, on his bed, and he's gone.
Traces de violence
Without any traces of violence at all.
sur le corps. Autopsie
Du sang à la bouche, là.
C'est du sang et
He was bleeding from the mouth, it says. That was the news reports.
un mélange de liquide gastrique. Là, ça se...
And he was fuming. I don't know what you call the word, but a liquid was coming out of his mouth. Foam. He was foaming. There was foaming coming out.
sera déterminé le plus tard à l'autopsie. Autopsie 3 jours après le décès. Le pathologiste constate qu'il y a eu une hémorragie de l'appareil digestif.
So about 3 days after, with the autopsy, they figured out, the pathologist, they said he died. There was a rupturing or a hemorrhage. I don't know how you guys say it, man, in English, but you know what I'm saying. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. They think it was in his stomach. There was a hemorrhaging of his stomach.
Consécutif là, à ce qu'on croit être une maladie cardiaque.
And they think at that time that hemorrhaging of the stomach or stomach lining, I don't know, I find that strange, but they're saying they thought it had something to do. It happened as maybe a chain reaction of a heart attack that he may have been having.
Alors, la coroner conclut à une mort naturelle, mais elle se questionne.
And the coroner then concludes that this was a natural death. It was a natural death, but she questioned certain circumstances or facts.
Sur la présence de fentanyl, il y a une concentration assez importante de fentanyl dans l'organisme.
And of course, the reason she says that, it's because when they did the blood test, I guess, or tissues or whatever, they found traces, or very important, not minute, important traces of fenty.
Sauvageau, 3 jours après son
Donc ça,
décès.
c'est au rapport de la coroner.
Absolument.
And that's on the coroner's report. Is that right? And he says, absolutely.
Mais Sauvageau n'a pas de prescription médicale pour consommer cet opioïde-là, mais
And he says, Andre Sauvageau did not have a prescription to consume fenty.
on conclut quand même que c'est l'hémorragie
I don't know, you can get one.
digestive qui a
causé
causé
le
son
décès.
décès. Sauf que la question à laquelle la coroner ne pouvait pas répondre à ce moment-là, c'est le tueur à gages Frederic Silva qui est venu répondre à ça, parce que Silva, on le sait, depuis 2 ans, il collabore avec ce qui est la plus grosse enquête criminelle présentement au Canada.
So now he's branching off. He says, he's like playing a little bit. He says, but the one thing the coroner did not know at the time, why should he or she? He says one thing that she did not know is that the hitman, one of the biggest hitman in Quebec, well, that we know of. There's probably others just as big, or possibly, I guess, but there has been one other, at least, that I know of. He's not, the coroner, he's playing words, says he didn't realize that there was a hitman out there speaking to police, and now we're going to see what he's going to say.
On appelle ça le projet Alliance. C'est une enquête...
There was another operation that he was part of, I guess, or he was being targeted. It was called Project Alliance.
De la Sûreté du Québec et de la police de Montréal qui pourrait permettre de résoudre une 60aine de complots de meurtre.
That's it. And that operation was going to be able to help solve about 60 murders.
Dans le crime organisé au cours des
Et
dernières
donc, lui,
années.
Silva, dans ce qu'il a raconté aux policiers, il a raconté en passant Sauvageau, quand il est mort, puis là, il a raconté ce qui était vraiment arrivé.
So, in other words, you're saying that Frederic Silva, that hitman, when he spoke to police about the 60 murders, he says that, hey, by the way, among those 60, Andre Sauvageau in prison when he died a natural death? No, it was not natural.
Bien, il était assez bien placé pour le savoir parce
Yep, because Frederic Silva was correctly positioned, or he was in the right place or at the right time, or he was privy to this knowledge that he was about to share with us.
que
Because
Silva était, c'était Disons que son plus gros client, quand il était question de faire du ménage dans le crime organisé,
Let's just say he would know because when Silva was active, his biggest client was none other than the man on the right, Gregory Woolley.
c'était le caïd Gregory Woolley,
Ça, c'est...
qu'on voit à l'écran présentement. Woolley, ça, c'est un ancien membre d'un club-école des Hells Angels.
And Gregory Woolley is an ex-member of a underling biker club of the Hells Angels, the Rockers.
Qui est devenu chef de gang,
And at this point, he had become a chief of a gang,
qui est devenu un des personnages les plus puissants dans le crime organisé.
and he became one of the most powerful members of the underworld.
Et Woolley a dit à Silva,
And Woolley, at that time, told Silva,
tu diras à Mom Boucher
you will go report to Maurice Boucher that
que Sauvageau, c'était un cadeau de ma part.
Andre Sauvageau was a gift from me.
Pourquoi?
En fait, que l'assassinat de Sauvageau était
Exact.
un cadeau à Mom Boucher.
Exact.
So the assassination of Andre Sauvageau was a gift that Woolley gave to his godfather, his mentor, Maurice Boucher.
Et pourquoi Mom Boucher aurait souhaité la mort de ce gars-là? Pourquoi c'est un cadeau pour lui?
And then why would the Maurice Boucher wish the death of Andre Sauvageau? Why was this a gift being given to him?
Pourquoi ça? Alors, on
Why that? Let me answer.
l'explique là, ce matin là, dans le journal avec mes collègues Max Dallan et Félix Séguin. Ce qui se passe, c'est que Maurice Boucher détestait Andre Sauvageau là, pour s'en confesser.
What happened is that Maurice Boucher hated Andre Sauvageau.
Pourquoi?
Why?
Parce que, Sauvageau, c'est un ancien membre des Rock Machines.
Number one, because Andre Sauvageau was an ex-member of the Rock Machines. Remember, by the end of 2000, like maybe I don't know, after 2001 at the very least, the most influential members patched over to the Hells Angels.
Qui ont fait la guerre aux Hells Angels pendant les années de 90.
So, in other words, Maurice Boucher was not happy to have Rock Machines patching over. It pissed him off. Imagine how he would feel right now to know that Salvatore Casetta is one of the most powerful members of the Hells Angels.
Qui ont tué des Hells Angels, donc
Because remember, Andre Sauvageau was part of the team that murdered plenty of, or responsible or orchestrated to have murdered plenty of friends or acolytes of Maurice Boucher. So he hated him. He hated them.
un ami proche de Mom Boucher qui
In fact, he had one of his close friends killed,
s'appelait Normand Hamel.
Normand Biff Hamel. Now, if you haven't seen the video on our channel, there's a video of Biff Hamel. Look for it. It's one of those storytelling videos. Nobody watched that video. Check it out. And you'll know who we're talking about.
Mais
And that was his best friend. There's pictures of them together, of course. He has that classic name, Biff Hamel. My apologies. That's a name that bikers used. It's an old classic nickname. But there's pictures of Maurice Boucher at his best friend's funeral next to his casket. My apologies. So it was probably one of the saddest days of his life.
Boucher avait une raison beaucoup plus personnelle d'en vouloir à Sauvageau. C'est
But Maurice Boucher had a more personal reason to want the death of Andre Sauvageau on the very left.
que il a appris en 2014 à lui
And the reason that he had even more personal hatred for him is that he had learned, Maurice Boucher had learned by 2014,
l'hiver 2014,
winter 2014,
il a appris que Sauvageau était parti en voyage dans le sud avec son ancienne maîtresse.
what Maurice Boucher had learned that actually in I guess 2014-ish, he learned that Andre Sauvageau had taken a trip to South America, I think he said. It doesn't really matter where, but he took a vacation or a trip. And you know who he took the vacation and trip with? Yeah, Maurice Boucher is rotting in jail. What have I been telling you guys? That's you're not allowed to say it in this new era generation. If you go to prison, that loyalty from that wife or girlfriend you have, forget about it. Completely forget about it. Suddenly, you're not in favor anymore. Guess who he went to the vacation or trips with? His ex. Yes, he took his ex on a vacation after that. So I guess they were dating.
Avec qui il a eu des enfants.
And that's, by the way, to give her, I didn't want to say, I wasn't sure, but now he confirmed it. Maurice Boucher has children with her too. So that's his, pretty practically was his wife, you know.
Plus.
Ça lui a déplu.
And that pissed him off. Yes, that pissed him off.
Beaucoup.
A lot.
Et nous, dans notre livre, Le Parloir, que j'ai écrit avec Félix Séguin.
And now he's just saying, in my book with Félix Séguin that we wrote together,
on a eu accès à des documents policiers.
We had access to write that book, we had access to police documents.
De l'enquête Magot.
From that in relation to Operation Magot-Mastiff, which I described earlier.
Où on avait des enregistrements.
Where we had access to recordings.
De Mom Boucher.
Of Mom Boucher. Remember Mom Boucher's, for those who don't know, he had these, whenever he would have a conversation from visitors, there's a windshield separating you from visitors. We know that his daughter went to visit him. Every time he had these conversations, they were being recorded. So he was talking to his daughter. The conversations were recorded. I'm assuming other people were recorded. Gregory Woolley could not go visit. They're smarter than that. But he would pass along messages through Maurice Boucher's daughter. In fact, I think one of the pictures they showed earlier was, I think they showed it earlier in this video. I'm not 100%, but I think they showed a picture of Gregory Woolley with a woman, right? That woman was Maurice Boucher's daughter. So he would meet her, as you see, and he was being captured by police surveillance. They were following Gregory Woolley everywhere. Meeting with Frederic Silva at that time, meeting with Maurice Boucher's daughter, and he would pass the messages to her, and then she would go visit him in prison. And we actually saw some tidbits of video clips where his daughter was speaking to her father, right? And he was practically confessing to I don't remember exact details. If it was confessing that he was going to get someone off, or he could get someone off, and if you want to get someone off, oh yeah, we want to have someone off, ask. Then he would scratch his skin. That's to say, the black guy, the black skin. He was talking about Woolley, so he was saying, let scratch. He was scratching himself. Know that we need a favor from him. I need him to do this. So they were being recorded. So now he's saying that when he wrote his book, he had access to some recordings. I'm assuming they're the visual recordings, maybe snippets of audio, but he had audio. Now let's see what audio he's going to talk about.
Avec sa fille Alexandra, qui
there you go. Audios with his daughter Alexandra.
Allait lui rendre visite au pénitencier de
She was visiting him, as I explained.
Saint-Des-Plaines. Et il y a une de ces conversations-là,
and one of those conversations there,
parle de Sauvageau.
He even speaks about Andre Sauvageau.
Il traite de vidange.
He characterizes him as trash.
Puis d'hypocrite.
Of hypocrite.
Puis il fait référence à ce fameux voyage-là.
And he makes reference to that famous trip, with his wife.
Donc,
and I'm assuming that wife is probably her mother. And here we go. We have the picture. That's the picture. Gregory Woolley this is Maurice Boucher's daughter. I'm thinking that the woman that Andre Sauvageau was taking a trip with was her mom. I'm assuming that's the case. But he has two. He has Maurice Boucher also had a son. You should know about. I forgot his name, but he was part. He was under Gregory Woolley. He was in the Rockers, if I recall correctly. He was taking orders from Gregory Woolley. Because Gregory Woolley, at a certain point, was one of the leaders of the Rockers.
Woolley était bien au courant de ça parce que...
And Woolley was well aware of that situation, that his wife was going on trips with Andre Sauvageau, the Hells Angel, who was an ex-rock machine who had patched over, obviously.
Woolley est resté proche de Boucher malgré son incarcération.
And Woolley was still close to Maurice Boucher despite his incarceration. And that's about the time also, 2014-ish, I think, is also about the time where the Hells Angels allegedly turned their back on Maurice Boucher completely. But obviously, Gregory Woolley loved the dude. He gave him his chance when there was no chance to be given to a black guy in the Quebec Hells Angels at all. Let's not kid ourselves. So for someone like Maurice Boucher to take a liking to him, to treat him like a fellow brother, I'm sure Maurice Boucher trusted him a lot more than he trusted certain Hells Angels, and actually you could see this right here displayed in front of your eyes.
Donc, Woolley aurait fait assassiner l'autre pour faire un cadeau à Mom Boucher parce que...
Hence, you're saying that Woolley would have had that man, Andre Sauvageau, assassinated as a gift to Maurice Boucher?
Mom Boucher avait permis à Woolley de monter de grade, mais aujourd'hui, tout ce monde-là est décédé. Là.
But today, all these people who climbed the ranks with them, all these accolades, they're all gone, right?
Tout ce monde-là est décédé.
Woolley
All these people are gone now.
est dans un stationnement de CLSC avec son bébé.
Il y a un an, exact. Et Mom Boucher...
Yeah, they said Woolley got off to last year. It's been a year, huh? It was November of last year. It's been a 1-year anniversary since Gregory Woolley passed away, man. We've been together. Crazy, huh? How quickly time flies.
Qui est décédé il y a 2 ans.
Fait que,
Donc...
What? I don't. Something's off here.
un an, exact.
Did he just... My apologies. I just don't... Maybe... I'm getting old, so sometimes memory's not good. I don't think I heard what I just heard.
Stationnement de CLSC avec son bébé.
Il y a un an, exact. Et Mom Boucher qui
Okay, no, good. I thought I heard him say 2 years. No, it's last year.
est décédé il y a 2 ans.
Mom Boucher passed away 2 years ago. Ah, okay.
Fait que,
Donc, il n'y aura pas d'accusation. Alors, mais c'est...
So there will not be any accusations. Yeah, Gregory Woolley is not going to face the music for this one.
fascinant comme
c'est
revirement de
C'est
situation.
le moins qu'on puisse dire. Éric Thibault, merci beaucoup.
Crazy, man. Let's see if we can get any details extra. Sometimes they leave, often they leave stuff here that we should know about. We're not going to read it line by line, just to be able to save some time, because if I see something in the video that was said, no need to translate it word for word. Here you go, a picture of Andre Sauvageau. It's old now, man. It's 10 years old. Remember, he passed away 5 years ago. No, well, he was assassinated 5 years ago. And today we're finding out that he was poisoned. It was, quote, a gift from myself. Words of Gregory Woolley. We never get tired of hearing Gregory Woolley news over here. Andre Sauvageau was found lifeless in his cell in RDP prison on the morning of the 26th May 2019. Frederic Silva declared to the police that Sauvageau would have been assassinated by the help of another detainee, a prison inmate, and that the murder of Andre Sauvageau would have been a direct order of gang boss Gregory Woolley, who was he himself the best client of Silva. There you go, you got a picture. Does this picture remind you of another picture? It's funny how two seemingly unrelated events, not seeming, they are unrelated, two completely unrelated events, show us, they say a picture says 1,000 words. This picture, you see one person waiting for an order, waiting for an evaluation, and you see another person in a position of authority there, as if to reflecting, looking or verifying or strategizing, but clearly about to make a decision to give back an order to this man in the back. This picture's 10 years old. I showed you another picture more recently where you see Arab Power member, in the same type of picture. By the way, police. It's not a family photo here. This is cops taking a picture while they're surveilling them. The Arab Power one is the same thing that happens moments after. You see there's the rolling 90s crib, and you have Arab Power Younes Attaki side by side. And again, you can tell Younes reporting to the rolling 90s veteran, and the rolling 90s veteran thinking about things. And what are they thinking about? Well, guess what? Well, that surveillance happened moments before when they went attack. He just completed a mission of offing a Greek dude, if I recall correctly. It was a Greek dude. He offed him, and then he threw the Glock inside the waters. The cops caught the whole thing. They were surveilling the whole thing. They just didn't realize what was happening when he was. But he knew he threw something in the waters. But they were following him the whole way. Obviously, I don't think they caught him in the act of committing an offing. They just put 1 + 1 together. They had, they had probably snitches or something. So, or after the fact, they constructed a puzzle, who died, etc. They knew that he must have been the guy, but they saw him roof the gun. But that picture is the same as this picture if you look at it. 10 years later, same thing, police surveillance capturing a moment in time. The positioning of power, 2 people on the camera lens. One of them reporting to the other and talking about heavy stuff, murders basically. And you'll say to Mom that this was a gift from myself. So he would have told Silva to report to Maurice Boucher this, it seems. When this last one was being transferred to Sainte-Anne-des-Plaines prison for the condemnation of his offings. And he was I guess what they're saying is, Silva was arrested. I don't know too clearly how this happened, but he spoke to him, and he knew that he was going to be transferred. He told him, while you're being transferred, well, I guess this was just another time, and he was telling him, go report this to Maurice Boucher. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we're going to skip that. It says Woolley would have stayed loyal to Boucher, who had recruited him from the ranks of street gangs, and he was part of the Rockers of Montreal, the most violent underling school of the Hells Angels during the biker war with the Rock Machine, which caused the deaths of 160 people at the end of the 90s. In 1998, Woolley became the first black man to obtain an official status within the Hells Angels organization. And you see here a picture of them standing. You see the Rockers patch of Montreal. You see Maurice Boucher with a Nomads right there, patch right here. You see, can't tell who this guy is, but you see right in between them, you see a younger Gregory Woolley, probably aged around 25 or so, right here. And you see the earrings. He would never trade the earrings. He would always wear the earrings even years after. Sometimes wearing even a shirt that says Rockers decades later. Proud of his accomplishment in life. After the condemnation of Boucher in 2002 and his expulsion, I don't know how you're saying this, being kicked out of the organization of the Hells in 2014, Woolley, he would continue to communicate with Maurice Boucher by writing letters. Now, I don't know about this. I'll take them for the word. First thing I heard about this, writing a letter, I would think that would be a stupid thing to write a letter, because I guess they verify all the letters you sent to Maurice Boucher, right? I don't know. But definitely he sent messages through people. Wow, look at it. So in our book, we did our investigation, he says, and we found out about the absolute hatred Boucher had towards Sauvageau, an ex-member of the Rock Machine, who counted among the enemies of Boucher during the war, right? Got his best friend killed, was part of that scheme. And then Sauvageau switched camps between the two gangs when they had a peace. How do you say? They came up with a peace. A truce. There you go. A truce in December of 2000. Mom would have not liked Sauvageau. He would have dared to take the trip with his wife. Yeah, let's just leave it at that. So you're the guy who hated my guts. You tried to have me killed many times. You killed my friends. And just like that, now, because my other buddies are okay with it, you're going to switch over to us. And now you even dare taking my wife. So is that her? Is that her right there? I don't know. Is that her? I don't know. They're holding each other pretty close. I don't know. Somehow they have the same... look at her face. Look at his face. They kind of look the same. I guess like attracts like. Made mom jealous. The officers recorded. Yeah, we had that one. We talked about that already. Okay, well, we got something that's worthy of translating here. An exact quote. We cherish these quotes. But I'm going to have to read the previous one so we can put it into context. The officers recorded a conversation, an animated conversation, between Boucher and his daughter Alexandra Mongeau, who was visiting him in Sainte-Anne-des-Plaines that winter during the investigation Magot-Mastiff, when the ex-warrior-in-chief of the Hells Angels was being investigated for a murder plot. And the quote begins. You know what the link is? My mom won't say nothing. She's going to say, and the quote continues, Come on, no. We were just friends. Yeah, they always say that. But do you have some? A friend who brings a woman on a trip like that just for, and then he cut off maybe it's inaudible, you couldn't hear it. Do you know someone like that who will bring a woman to a trip like that to eat chips together? Huh? Said Boucher to his daughter with an angry tone. After having let it be known that Sauvageau was a hypocrite and trash. There you go. You have him. There you go. That's the Rockers shirt. You see what I was talking about? Memory's not too bad. Here you go. Rockers shirt right there. This is in 2014. Rockers do not exist for almost 2 decades by this point. Or at least a decade and a half at the very minimum. He is wearing, reminiscing. Obviously, that's not the official rocker shirt or anything. It's just a rock and roll shirt. But you have the, you try to wear something else that says rockers. But you know why? It's not because he likes rock music. I really doubt it. Maybe he does, but it's not the reason. I don't think so. It's just as part of why he's wearing this, the earrings. Just as part of that. Let's keep going. Yeah, we know that Boucher died about 2 years ago. He had throat cancer. Remember that? We reported this. Now they're going back to his prison cell. We described what happened with the coroner and all that. We can skip this part. Now the concentration. Maybe some of you will like facts like this. Oh, no, never mind. I thought you were going to say what concentration he had in his blood. That's what I would have liked to give you that exact thing. But no, it's not. They're just giving us statistics of the U.S., how much you need to be to suffer from an OD, basically. It says 3 nanograms. What else we got? Yeah, I think we can skip this part. They're just going to recap Silva. We recapped him numerous times. Another person that was assassinated is our superstar here. We like to make jokes because he was, I find him, he's unintentionally a funny guy. He's sowing his seeds, Mr. Ponytail DeVito, But Rizzuto definitely got him back in prison. They poisoned him, not with fenty, but it was with cyanide a year or 2 before Andre Sauvageau. Unrelated completely, but it was in July of 2013 in Donnacona prison. Another... there's prisons and then there's heavy prisons, Donnacona is one of them. Sainte-Anne-des-Plaines is one of them. They take the cake, and then RDP is like in the middle ground, and then you have all the a few others that don't come up to mind. But those are the 3. We can't remember all the names. But if I can suggest you remember some names, the Anglos from other provinces, is this cool, badass name, Donnacona. And Sainte-Anne-des-Plaines, that's the one Boucher was. These are the 2 that if we talk about them, put an exclamation mark. And then RDP prison, of course. See what else we can go here. Yeah, they're just going back to, I shouldn't have, that's going to ding me. Anyways, shout out to all you guys. Daniel Gould, Mountain Woman, what's up? Max the Youth, what's up, buddy? And Anthony Serrano, good morning, pal. And everyone else has been there. And Chris Hensley also. Shout out to Chris Hensley. Thank you guys. I hope this video's, I try to make it as short as I can. I did not read any other articles, so we can only focus on this. Andre Sauvageau. So, no, he didn't die from natural death, as it may have seemed of old age. Once again, where are we? Let me just find my mouse is messed up. Once again, guess who, after his death, keeps making headlines? The best stories, the most entertaining stories, will always be from Gregory Woolley. And I think that we'll have a lifetime of new stuff coming up with him. Because this is just one moment, one snapshot in time. Sort of like for you accounting folks, when you look at the balance sheet. It's like they took a picture of all the accounts at one moment in time. That's all that we have on Gregory Woolley here. Do you think there's not many moments in time with many more pictures of what he did? He's been doing it for a long freaking time. Any time he was out of prison, he was doing it. He was doing something. And he's been doing this something on a high level in the mid-90s. He was not giving orders back then. He was giving orders actually by the end of it, but in the midst of it, he actually performed orders, such as that offing that he committed himself in forgot the name of the metro station. There was practically one of the metro stations near Berry-UQAM. Berry-UQAM is a metro station, but there's I think it's 2 or 3 stations to the right or to the left of it. I forgot the name, man. I think it was on the Green Line. I believe it was on the Green Line. Don't quote me on that. But he popped the dude from the Rock Machine side. Maybe someone from the pipeline, perhaps. Maybe one of their bikers. Not too sure. It was a long time ago. He popped the dude, and he knew not to take the car. Maybe they were going to trace the car. I don't know. But he decided to go inside the metro station. There's tons of steps. He went all the way down. These metro stations from Quebec can go deep, man. He took all those steps down. Then, at the last minute when you're about to board the train, the subway comes, the doors open. Well, right before you board, where you wait? There's trash bins. Not anymore. I think these days they don't even want you to throw trash there because people abuse it, man. People abuse it. People these days don't have common sense, But back then there used to be trash bins, at least on every metro station. At the very last second, I believe he put the Glock inside of a paper bag or something, and he dumped it there in the trash bin. And he may have also removed a hat and threw it there. Don't quote me on that though, or a glove or something else. But he was nicely hooded up, nicely hidden, and he got away with it. Managed to get away with it. I'm shocked. The only way that he can get away with that one, we can assume, because it's all based on memory. The only way he could get away with that is somehow he left no DNA. None of those pieces somehow had his DNA on it. But the cops are 100% sure it was him. But without the DNA and a clear picture of the face plus the cameras 2 decades ago, you remember those old-ass CCTV cameras? This is even before we had, 360p. We didn't even have this. It was not, the internet was nowhere close to where we are. Most people did not have internet. Talk about mid-90s. So imagine how bad the cameras were. They're pretty useless, almost useless, especially from a viewing distance like that, capturing someone. So based on the image alone, they can't do nothing. And then on the DNA, then you must say, well, look, if they think it's him, they just need to match the DNA. And then for sure it's him. It can't be anybody else. Well, I guess they did not have the DNA on him. He did a perfect job. Almost perfect, because somehow they still knew it was him. But he got away with that one. Well, that's not the only one he got away with. That's the most notable for me that I will never forget about. Because it was so close. But he did them himself too. And now you see in the picture here, this is not the end of his run yet. So what you see him here still ordering murders. 2014. Well, he still lived an extra decade after this one. This is just one snapshot. How many other people did he get killed? Or order, or have involvement, or sponsored? You do the math, friend. There's gonna be plenty of more where that came from. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone. Shout out to GX. Shout out to GX. He says, "What's up, brother? Finally able to catch live stream out here trucking in Ottawa, Ontario. All right, nice, man. Trucking people make it sound like it's easy. It's not easy at all, man. There's a lot of things to worry about. Very, 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 very risky business. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, well, I'm taking the course. We're like a couple of students per truck. It kind of sucks, bro. Kind of sucks because you got people who they like to have conversations with teachers for so long, and then you're stuck there. You're basically wasting time. I don't find it productive. But I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it because of that. But I'm going through the motion that I got to do to get it done. Hopefully, get it done so I can hit the road. Hit the road, Jack. And maybe you can give me some good advice. Or anyone can give me good advice. God bless, guys. Thank you for your help. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more where this came from. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.